That's during those times you got to be careful because depression can kick in.
It can.
On a long distance relationship.
It definitely can, dog. Because your anxiety be so high.
It's so high.
In those so dark hours.
Fears.
It's the dark hours because when it's good, it's good. It's great. Right. You know what I'm saying? You get your butterflies still and everything still is everything. That's great. But then.
No, you hang up.
Right. Breathing on the phone, go falling asleep on the phone together. I mean, all of that be wonderful, but then those dark times, though, when you can't quite reach the person like you used to, I feel like, faith plays a big part in that. Welcome. This is Relationships 101 podcast, and I am your host, Sylvester Wilson.
And I'm your co-host, JasMeka Wilson.
Yes, baby.
Let's get into it.
In a building.
Yeah. We're in a building?
And we building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so today.
When we was doing our long distance relationship stage, right? For some of y'all who don't know, we went through that stage. What were some of the struggles for you with that?
It depends on what part you're talking about. The part when I wasn't pregnant, the part when I became pregnant. It was a roller coaster for me. So the part when I, wasn't pregnant, it was just a matter of trusting that you ain't down in Miami doing nothing crazy. Ain't nobody else. Outside looking. No, you can't look for a hoochie daddy. But you was being a hoochie daddy. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that was that part. But then when I became pregnant, it became more so the physical touch that I was needing and I was missing. So that was my journey.
Well, that physical touch is very important. For me, I think it was more so because you're still in the early stages of learning the person. It's important to be able to be around them so you can kind of like, sometimes you don't know what mood they in. And you'll call a person and and somebody like you, I'm just saying, like, you can get in your head, you know what I'm saying? And the person, and I can't, it'll be hard to tell where you at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, earth to jazz. Like, where are you right now?
Yeah, you gonna make these people run from me.
I don't care. As long as I stay with you. Long as I stay with you, nigga.
Can't tell what's in the head. Like, what
I ain't going nowhere.
Jeez. But no, I just finished. I was playing.
But, so for me, that probably was the main thing. Like,
so it sounded like lack of communication.
Because, see, text, like, we only had text messages and phone calls and occasional trips. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget those pictures.
Pictures?
Mm-hmm.
Pictures?
Text messages.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely. But we have, like, the FaceTime and, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it was kind of hard to tell. Just like how if you texting somebody right now, it's hard to kind of tell what the tone is, you know what I'm saying? In that, what it is. So you have to actually call them and talk to them to kind of like tell a little bit more. And then you have to get around that person if you're trying to even figure out even a little bit more as to where they are. So we had those barriers to kind of like, those barriers for me were kind of hard. You know
so can you say you had a lot of uncertainty? I ain't gonna say a lot, but there was some uncertainty for you because of my communication style?
No, I just think it just was areas where there were where it just made it was a little struggle. You get in your head. I don't care how secure you are. It's hard not to get in your head as in a long distance relationship. Like, you gonna get in your head at some point about it. because those fears are gonna start. It's gonna start to talking or wondering what they doing and where they at and what that was in the background and who that was and what they might be. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not there, especially like events and stuff like that you might they going out with their home girls or their homeboys or they out right now or they at a party and I can't really talk to you right now. I'm gonna hit you when I get to the crib and then you wondering what was that last voice you heard before they hung up, like. Oh, that junk be hunting you, the voices now. And I'm a very secure person now, but you can't escape that in a long distance relationship because you can't pull up. You can't. It's just a lot of unknowns that you have to deal with.
I would say I think it's important for people to be honest with themselves. Can I really do this?
Yeah, because it's hard.
Is this something?
It's hard.
I'm able to do with how I'm set up, how much attention I need. My level of insecurity, like right. I think people need to be honest with themselves and be like, can I really handle this? Yeah, because according to the stats, what you were reading, you want to share it?
Well, only like, you mean like the survival rate?
Yeah.
Well, I looked at a couple different sources and one of them was like 60%, is successful with long distance relationships. The other one was like 40.
So we're just going to round it off and say 50.
You know what I'm saying? Half of relationships. 40
to 60, give me 50. Half of relationships survive.
Long distance. Yeah. We can rock with that. I mean, you just asked me this the other day, and like that wasn't the first long distance relationship I was in. Mm-hmm. So I had a little bit more experience. Thank God, like in facing those fears about it, and they are real. They don't change. It don't matter. The person could be you could trust the person and everything, but you're gonna have them times, those dark hours of wondering.
As long as you don't project it on the person, because then it can make me or make the person run. Like, okay, you keep pressing or putting this on me. So it's the like, anxiety, let me just do the things that you think I'm doing.
The anxiety of it all. Like, you can get very anxious. So I feel like, some of those struggles would be not being able to spend quality time with the person. It being a limited quality time, right? Quality time is on the phone. Mm-hmm. Not being able to see them like you want to, because guess what? Unless you just balling like that, to be able to just take a flight anytime.
Every weekend.
You know what I'm saying? Or take a trip anytime. Like, travel expenses is definitely a struggle, or something that you have to, something that you have to take into account. What else?
We already went over insecurities.
Okay. So, I mean... Your fears.
Financial.
Yeah.
You already said the being able to touch them and be with them.
I mean, anything else that, maybe some of y'all going through this right now could kind of share. Just leave it down in the comments and let us know, because it helps, too, to know that you ain't the only one going through this. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like... Maybe they should get like a long distance relationship group or something.
There's some out there, like those support groups, because that was one thing.
You need that crap, bro.
That was one thing we talked about. Like, what do you think could help save long distance relationship if somebody got to do it? Because you got those military families, and it's like we don't gotta make it work, but we want to make it work.
Definitely.
And that was something we point out. Like, get you a support group. Whether you're in a support group or you have a supportive group of friends,
that's good,
that can help, like those negative thoughts you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Instead of me projecting it on you, if I had a friend that I can call and be like, sis, help me, because my mind is telling me this nigga is with somebody. Like, I heard a voice, but I really don't know. Like, just help me so that I don't have to keep bringing up this same issue to him and he eventually run away from it. Right. So I think having that, and I don't think I had that during our long distance relationship. I don't think I had a friend that I was able to call on and project my fears on. Mm. That's during those times you got to be careful, because depression can kick in.
It can.
On a long distance relationship.
It definitely can, dog. Because your anxiety be so high.
It's so high.
In those dark hours.
Fears. hours.
It's the dark hours, because when it's good, it's good. It's great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get your butterflies still, and everything still is everything. That's great. But then
No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
right. Breathing on the phone, go falling asleep on the phone together. I mean, all of that be wonderful, but then those dark times though, when you can't quite reach the person like you used to, I feel like faith plays a big part in that. It's a lot. Like, you can't get away with having a successful relationship in any facet, in my experience, without faith. I mean,
Absolutely.
even as parents, we're learning that, you become a better parent the more faith the more you grow your faith. You become a better spouse the more you grow your faith in those areas in that relationship, and you become a better better chance of you having a successful or long distance relationship when you actually can rely on your faith.
Right. Remember we used to say, I don't trust you, I trust the God in you.
Yes.
I think that can help people. Like, not saying I don't trust you as an individual,
No,
but
definitely.
I trust the God in you.
Yeah.
Like, I believe your morals, what you stand for, what you believe will be strong enough to not, defile this relationship. Not saying you're perfect, but I just trust that you got this.
And that's a thing too, like, not leaving some grace space, right? Knowing that this is a long distance relationship, like, have some grace. Like, don't.
No, what type of grace you talking about?
I mean, you can't be trying to control people because your anxiety is going crazy about who, what, when, where, how.
Okay,
like,
but what type of grace?
Can't go. I mean, that's grace in itself. Like, grace with your emotions. Like, don't rain all that down on me because you have an anxiety attack because you may not
I thought you was
be able to ask me the questions right now.
I thought you were trying to say, like, hand out hoochie daddy passes. Like, get them a pass to mess up.
Heck no, I ain't saying that.
I just want to clarify.
Not saying that at all.
He's not saying grace for your hoochie daddy pass.
No, I ain't saying that. But you have to understand that. And more so, too, I guess I mean, like, giving yourself grace, too, in that. Right? You can't let yourself you can't let your mind drive you crazy about it. So you have to be able to say, hey, self, this is a long distance relationship. Like, I gotta practice some type of trust in this. I can't trip like that.
I would say I think it's important to know the end goal because it'll help with those moments. Like, if we know, okay, we're just in this long distance relationship for a year, I'm going to move up or you're going to move, then I think that timeline will help. But when you're in a long distance relationship with somebody who
that thing just floating around.
Right. I'm going to stay in Atlanta, you stay in Detroit. It's
like, what are the goals?
Yeah, what's the goals? What's our timeline? What are we trying to do here?
Right.
I think that
getting your goals aligned.
Yeah.
I think together and having that conversation at some point, sooner than later, will quiet down a lot of that anxiety about it. I think so. I agree with that.
Right, because it was like we were serving a sentence. Boy, I was moving up to Miami May something. It became a countdown. Like, okay, we got a month. 2 months. Like, so I think that timeline or just talking about what y'all overall goals is as a couple would definitely help the relationship. Unless some people just want to be in a long distance relationship because they don't want to be aggravated or they done been married 3 to 4 times. Well, this message not for you.
Right.
Because some people like, I love my long distance relationship.
It depends on.
I like my peace.
I guess it also it makes a difference in where you are in your life at the time. Like, what stage of your life are you in? Some people, like you say, they may have already been through all of that, right? And just having that type of relationship that you stand, like, it's not such a big thing for them. They are comfortable with talking on the phone with somebody and having somebody to, the long distance thing is comfortable for them.
Right.
Taking one trip a year, like, it's.
Who
you got people that lives are like that. I work with some
one
people.
trip.
Listen,
So what's happening?
it's all walks of life out here, man.
See, I'm probably on the 60.
It's all walks of life out
I'm
here.
probably when it says 60% are successful. Right now, I'm the 40% because what relationship is thriving off of meeting one time per year? What's happening all in 11 months?
I don't know. See, look, I work with some older people. I work with some older people.
Sexually, it's a little different.
Right, I work with some older people who they're married and their spouse lives in a different country.
You said older. I don't got to say too much.
Right,
there.
so they're trying to understand their dynamic. When you're a young person, they don't have the cares and the worries that we have, right? And if they did at one point, they've come to grips with those, and it's a different world.
Definitely a different world. They're older, so I get it. I understand. I respect it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this message is for those that are trying to find that balance to make this long distance relationship work because we've been there. So we just pointing out like, hey, it's painful. It might make it, it might don't. But for us, it was it's gonna make it or it's gonna make it. That just was the two options. So whether we needed to cry, sleep, like whatever we needed to do in that moment of peace, it was we gonna make it or we gonna make it. And that was just that.
And it would have been easier, boy. We had like FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? So if you doing that right now, if you're doing long distance right now, there are some strategies that'll help you out. There are some things that you could do.
Give them a few. I'm sure they maximizing them, but reinforce some strategies.
I mean, definitely. I'm sure they doing their FaceTime.
Going on virtual dates.
Definitely. That's something that's new to me anyway.
We should have a virtual date.
Those trips, we should have a virtual date.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, let's try a virtual date.
I think it'll be fun.
What does that look like? Like I go to a restaurant and you go to another restaurant and we set each other up on our phone and just eat together?
Yeah, pretty much. Or we could be home. Like you could be at your house, I could be at my house. And we could just set up a nice little romantic, sit it where you could see my TV and we actually watch a movie. They also have virtual dates VR style now, where you could put on your VR. You gotta have your VR glasses, like the Oculus things that we bought. Say, put those on. I put mine on, and we can actually meet virtually in a room at a movie somewhere. And it's like we're in each other's space. We can hear my voice. I can hear yours. Virtually, we can hold hands, and it's crazy out there now. Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's this is the future.
Okay.
Like, you better believe it. The Jetsons, like
y'all better not be in that VR humping.
I mean,
You could
there
go
are
in the
some
VR
things.
and hold hand and hug.
Yes.
Whatever works, man. Whatever
and you can
works.
watch whatever you want to watch. Yeah.
Whatever works.
Yes, sir.
Whatever
So,
works.
and then what? Taking those trips. Even if you have to, I feel like even if you don't have, even if your finances and resources ain't there, man, look, will there's a will, there's a way. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all better go to, they probably scared of Spirit, but
when you got that shoe, who gonna be?
Ticket counter
I'm
and get a
telling
$30 flight or
yeah, it's cheaper when you go
catch
to
a bus.
It's cheaper when you go to the counter as opposed to ordering it online.
Or catch a, and I think that only worked for Spirit.
In my experience, only Spirit.
Yeah. Or go to the bus station and see what's cheaper. Bus, flight, what's gonna get me there? What's the route?
Yep. Where you gonna be at? Planning, hotel stay, or even if it's your place, their place or whatever. Just planning that out. It could definitely be if y'all gotta go half.
So we're gonna go elementary style on them, babe. Remember we was like, well, I think a long distance relationship, we gotta talk about the 5 senses.
Oh. Okay, well let's break
it down. Let's break it down.
The 5 senses of long distance relationship.
They got all these. They put a number to everything. 5 love languages. 5 this, 5 this, 5 that. So I think we should go over the 5 senses of a long distance relationship and get them strategies for each domain on how to make it work.
I can understand that because so it's just saying, I guess, that because y'all long distance, it's like, what are some ways that you could appeal to the senses, all of the senses of this person, right? Because you can't physically be in their space to touch them, to smell them, to to feel that, like you can't really. So what are some more creative ways that you could fulfill these senses?
We already know how they could see them. I'm already trying to get to touch. They could see them, FaceTime, Zoom.
Yeah.
Hop on a call.
Yep, definitely. You got Google Chat. You got all type of ways you can do that now.
Touch them, though. They're going to have to touch them other ways because they can't physically.
I just talked about the virtual.
Touch.
Yeah, I might want to VR that thing. Yes, sir.
They can send roses. They can touch their heart.
You can touch their heart. You can touch them other ways.
Touch them other ways. They can touch their heart.
Gifts are
they
very.
Can touch their pockets.
Gifts are very important.
They can touch them other ways.
Surprise them with a gift, with a knock at the door. Like it's so much more potent when this is that long distance relationship, and you do something like that. Send them a gift. That's a good one. Touch them in other ways. What else you got?
Smell.
The smell?
Send me your shirt. Mail me something that smells like you. Mail
okay. A musky. Send me a musky shirt.
I don't want that. Don't send.
With all your funk on it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Send something with your scent on it that we could smell, or leave something behind when you come from a trip that has your house scent on it.
A handwritten letter, old school now. A handwritten letter with the scent, with your perfume on it.
Spray that thing.
With the kiss, with the lipstick.
Put that lipstick kiss on that thing.
Come on now. Hey, that thing it means something now, especially on that long distance vibe.
How they gonna taste them though?
Listen.
Share some edibles. Send them some edibles.
Send them some edibles?
Yeah, like send them
edible arrangement.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that. But
you can't just say it like that. Edible arrangement, though. And you can find those in different, you got flower shops in every city, every state. You can look online, find a flower shop next, closest to their address or whatever, and get that thing delivered. Edible arrangements, flowers, candy.
Or they could go to the restaurant. Like, we go to the same restaurant. Mm-hmm. You sit up with your phone. I sit up with mine. We FaceTime each other and order a meal like we're together.
Right.
And let's eat together. Let's break bread virtually.
Definitely. I also saw something that was interesting. It was like what do they call it? Like a project date or something like that. So what it is like, let's say you got a busy, pretty busy lifestyle. Both of us are pretty busy, you know what I'm saying? And we got things that we got to get done. Mm-hmm. But, long distance relationships, you break rules with that. Like, we could just watch each other, just have the phone on, and you can just see me just because, right? Just so you can feel like you're in my space and I'm in yours. Okay. We ain't really got to be talking. But I'm on the other side of doing my thing, right? Putting together whatever I need to put together, hanging stuff, and you could be, doing what you're doing on your side of the screen and giving me little pointers, little suggestions. Hey, maybe you should blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, that looks nice. Maybe you should And then when we come into the end of what we doing, the project that we doing or whatever, I could do something sweet like, order a pizza and send it to your door, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that for afterwards. I mean, like it's you gotta get creative, man.
I think it's important to go back to those times when we were teens, because it's like you long distance relationship. Your parents.
You had a lot of boundaries. You had a lot of boundaries that you had to
see that person that much. You couldn't talk to that person that much. So it was like a long distance relationship. Yeah. So if we go back to our youth and apply whatever we was doing in those times, whether we was talking on the phone, laughing, sending text messages, writing letters,
grieving on the
songs
phone
together, leaving voicemails, whatever we did in those times.
Making playlists and
sending your song.
Yeah.
I think don't forget your youth, because some of those things
sending
you did
pictures
in that time can, help you in that. We're just trying to talk about all ways to make relationships work. Like, because if dating in your city ain't working, I done heard this one before. I don't know about you. Ain't nobody in Miami. Everybody in Miami, they don't want nothing but, they ain't going after that. They just want all this and that. Right. So, hey, maybe you need to drive up to Orlando, or just, I don't know, maybe you need to travel to find somebody else.
Maybe it's somewhere else. I heard people say, like, they rather go to the islands and get them a woman because of the type of women in the city. It's just too fast.
You gotta know you gotta know yourself.
You got different. You know.
If you was in Jamaica, baby, I don't think I would have did a relationship across seas. I don't think my mind.
Girl, it's a trip just like any other trip.
I don't think my mind can handle.
Don't worry about it. If you would have got, don't worry about it. I would have. You get smitten, and once you get bit with that love bug.
It's important to know what you can tolerate. I don't think I could tolerate it.
You're willing to go past what you thought you wouldn't be doing, because I know a lot of y'all in long distance relationships right now. Some of y'all probably never imagined yourself in this type of relationship, putting up with what you putting up with in a long distance relationship. It's a lot, but like you said, it's important to have that conversation. Where we headed at with this? You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do that casually. You understand what I'm saying? I think long distance relationships are more so for people who they definitely have an aim and a goal, and they actually trying to build something and put something together, like for real. Not just on the casual, you know what I'm saying? It ain't just one of them, oh, I met you, when you was down here in the city and Labor Day weekend or something.
Right.
I'm trying to hook up with you right quick. Right, yeah. It ain't like one of them. You actually trying to build something, and this might be somebody you can build with. You know what I'm saying? They just happen to be from somewhere else or from where you from, and then situations change. Maybe they went off to school. Maybe they had to take a job somewhere else, or maybe they just had to move for whatever reason. Talk about what those goals are, so that you guys have a timeline on that. Anything else, Pay?
I would say don't try to hang on to nothing that you know is dead. Like you crying every night because he's not answering your calls and your mind telling you what he's probably doing. If he stopped answering, take the clue. Maybe he moved on.
Maybe he moved on, but don't do that on the first
I'm not saying first try. I just feel like people be like, oh my gosh, he not answering, or he not this,
but
and
then,
he not that.
But then you got to check yourself too. You got to check yourself too, because sometimes, like I said, it's easy for that anxiety to just flare up, and you could just be tripping. You could just be speeding right now. Calm down. I know when you in love with somebody, you got to kind of pump them brakes a little bit before you overwhelm the other person. We got different personalities, you know what I'm saying? You might be a go. That person might be a real chill person, and a lot of times if you're that type of person, you're gonna attract the opposite type. So the fact that you expecting that person to respond the way you would, if that was the case, you'll be dating yourself.
I can't date myself. We had this conversation all the time.
Exactly.
We be like, I can't date him. I cannot date myself. That means somebody that's like me. We would probably die by the age of 50. Just early. Because I'm a go. Probably miss a meal and go. Yeah, no, I couldn't date me.
So it's like, you got to leave in respect. That's the type of grace I was talking about too. Just knowing that, listen, let me pump my brakes. Apply some grace to this person, because it's long distance. It's hard on them too. But they got things that they got to get done. They got a life. That's the good people, because you got some people that's y'all better discern these long distance relationships. I done heard stories where people were sending in money overseas, just hoping that it was a relationship, and come to find out it was something fraudulent. That's where I'm coming from. Y'all discern these relationships. That's cross waters right there outside of your state. Discern what it is. Some people come to Miami for fun, got a whole family back in wherever they from, and then you keep stressing yourself about he don't answer at night. Maybe there's a family. Right. Discern. So that's why I feel like with long distance relationships, unless whether you knew the person prior or not, but I know sometimes it's like us, we knew each other prior to our long distance relationship. So you at least have a just on the type of character this person has or whatever, right? But either way, I feel like transparency is key.
Right.
Transparency is key. That's me doing whatever I need to do, right, to help you out to help calm those fears down and those anxieties. Now, like I said, I ain't here to lie to you or to like cater to that anxiety like that you need to be kind of like getting a grip on. Like, don't rain down on that other person all of your fears, but on the other end of it, still don't give them anything, right? You understand it's a struggle. It's a long distance relationship. It's not no regular one. So you can't exactly treat it like that. You got to kind of give it the long distance grace that it needs, meaning that an extra call, an extra check-in. You know, I'm here right now. After I leave here, I'm going here. Like, that's just that transparency, right, and open communication that person needs, man. So that they ain't tripping.
Right.
And if you care for the person, right, then do that. Like, it takes that, and vice versa. Like, it should be reciprocated.
So work on those automatic negative thoughts that come in our head. Those little ants. Like, you can't control them. They just come, and they come in a flood. Like, it'd be a trail of them. He doing something. He with somebody. Where you at? Where you going? I wonder who he with. Who he talking to? Do he really like me? Like, work on shutting them thoughts down. Like, speak the opposite. Especially if this person is showing you, like, I'm in this relationship for us. Like, if they're not giving us no reason. And I say that during our time, a long distance relationship, it wasn't one time you've ever, that I could think of, giving me a reason that dang, this man possibly doing something.
Right.
Because when I call, you answer, whether you was at work, hey, man, I'm going to call you right back. Or we falling asleep at night on the phone. And it's like, well, how would he be with somebody if we falling asleep on the phone every night? Like, what other woman would lay there while you on the phone with me every night? So I think just, especially if they're not giving you nothing to have these
don't go
reasons of doubt.
Looking for it. If they're not giving you nothing, don't go to digging and looking for it, because it's like, are you, like, do you want this to work or not? Now, I ain't saying don't cover all of your, you know what I'm saying, all your corners. Like, no, definitely.
I'm about to say, ooh, I think you talking to the males, because the
questions.
sisters, we gonna check, we gonna look, we gonna make sure.
But don't overdo it, bro.
Right, don't overdo it.
Listen, because it still reigns true, right? It's still true. If you look for something, you're going to find it eventually. And it's going to be a good person, but you're looking for perfection. And you're not going to find perfection, even if that's a good person. So if you keep looking and you keep looking, you're going to find something somewhere at some point in time where this person was not perfect. It was not a saint. It may not have been like something crazy, but, oh, dang, it'll be something that may be questionable. But you went digging, and this could have been like, it's just unreasonable. So it's like, it's kind of like, ask yourself, are you, because sometimes those fears, we can turn those fears on ourselves. Your anxiety level is high, you're really afraid, and you're trying to talk yourself out of this. If that's the case, be real with yourself, man. I ain't ready for this.
For real.
I mean, and it's just like any other relationship, to where, even if it was somewhere, close distance, you know, like a regular relationship where you could see that person, roll up on them, whatever. Even in those relationships, work on yourself first. You may realize that, listen, I'm not ready to actually date right now, right? You got to care about yourself that much to know, hey, I need to work on me some more. And so that when I get in a relationship and find somebody that I really care about, I don't mess it up. That it's not me. Because you can't tell me it's always the other person. You just may be talking yourself out of a good thing every time it happens. Some of y'all out there, like, you're talking yourself out of a good thing every single freaking time. Because you're going to look until you find something. It ain't never going to be a time you ain't going to find something when you're looking for it. Like,
you coming mighty heavy, hard over there.
Because people actually sabotage themselves. Good things, yeah. You can sabotage it. So get yourself whole, right? To where when you go to discerning, your sensitivity
healthy.
levels are where they need to be. It's not too sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you're not healthy, your sensitivity level could be too sensitive or not sensitive enough.
Not accurate.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just because you're not whole. You're not altogether healed from that last thing or whatever. Something I learned over the weekend was that demons hide in scabs, in wounds. You know what I'm saying? And unless you heal those things, you got a lot of issues to deal with. So let's practice. Let's do some practical stuff and heal before you jump up every Sunday in church talking about you want to get prayer.
And don't compare yourself to relationships where people are able to touch each other. Like, just because you're in that long distance relationship, don't look at Bob and Sue and be like, oh my gosh, I just wish. Because guess what's going to happen? The enemy going to hear that wish, and he going to send you somebody in your state, your city, and fulfill that wish. And people that's freaking together in the same state, child, their relationship probably more broken or spaced out than what you got. So don't be on that social media scrolling. If he was just here, we would go to the beach. Oh, look at them, they're traveling. Oh, look at them. Be careful of that enemy, because it's real. Like, you'll lose it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was good. That was good. Good stuff, y'all. Long distance relationships.
We rooting for y'all, man. It's possible. We was on a 50%. We made it. Like they say, nigga, we made it.
Sure, I think with us, it probably was the 60 or the 70.
That don't make it or make it?
That don't make it. I think the don't make it was higher in our time.
Oh, because we have
as many tools to use. Like, yeah, boy, if you had to really want it back then.
I wonder if, just thinking, I wonder if I did not become pregnant with Sage, would we,
would we have made it?
Would we have made it? Because we're not together for our kids. Let's just...
Right.
We're not together for them kids.
I tell you what.
We love them.
The world may never know.
Just a thought. But yeah, that was another conversation with us. We come on here and just talk that stuff. Like, we just talk. We looking for some healthy relationships to connect with, build with, grow with.
That's right.
We believe in healthy relationships, create healthy families, and we'll make the world a better place. Everybody's screaming, oh, we want peace, we want justice. It starts at home.
Yeah.
It starts with you.
It starts with you, definitely.
So we're working on those. Grow with us. Let's go.
Peace. One.